A momentum stock is a security whose price is increasing or decreasing and is expected to continue to increase or decrease. Momentum shows the rate of change in price movements over a period of time to help investors determine the strength of a trend. Stocks that tend to move with the strength of momentum are called momentum stocks. Momentum stocks can be run of the mill garden variety, or they could be ones which exhibit momentum for the long term. The garden variety momentum stocks exhibit momentum for a short or perhaps even an intermediate terms. But the stars are the ones that exhibit momentum over the long term and can therefore be immensely profitable. Now, the question is, how prevalent are these kind of momentum stocks, the ones that are stars, and how easy is it to find these stars? One of the ways to find out is to look at the distribution of, say, Nifty 50. We'll do the large cap universe over the last 1 year. So we look at Nifty 50 distribution of returns over the last 1 year. And now in identifying stocks with momentum, we can use absolute measures or relative measures. In the market, relative measures are always preferable. And in particular, in a year like the last one, where 15 out of the 50 Nifty stocks had more than 50% returns. This is not particularly significant in a year when the overall market had momentum. So the momentum displayed by a stock will not be specific to the stock itself, but would also include the overall market momentum. In order to really understand and identify momentum stocks, one would have to look at the relative momentum. One way to look at momentum would be to use the mean variance approach. Specifically, we can consider any stock that is more than 2 standard deviations away from the mean as having momentum. Looking at the Nifty 50 stocks last year, only one stock, Trend, can be considered to have had momentum. So the prevalence of momentum stocks would be very low. It is not very densely available in the distribution, and finding it is rare. Now, we've looked at the large cap universe, so let's look at the small cap index, the Nifty Small Cap 50 index. Looking at it on an absolute basis, almost half the stocks in this index had a return of 50% or higher last year. Of course, the index return for the year was also above 50%. And looking at it on a relative basis and in the same manner that we used for the large cap stocks, only one stock is more than 2 standard deviations away from the mean, and that is Multi-Commodity Exchange of India. So as is evident, genuine momentum stocks that retain momentum for the long run are difficult to identify because by definition they are rare. These stocks exhibit power law characteristics. I've done a short video on power law and the link to which is given below. Power law is the relationship between two variables of quantity where the change in one quantity results in a change in the other quantity proportional to the power of the change. So the relationship is not linear, it is exponential. So the area of a square gives us a good example of power law relationship, the relationship between the length of a square and its area. If the length of a square goes up by 1, say from 2 to 3, the area will go up from 4 to 9. So a change, an increase in the length of a square of 1 will result in an increase in the area of the square by 5. So the change in the variable is exponentially related to the change in the length of the line. In the two examples that we have selected, we can very easily find the exponential nature of the relationship in these stocks. The first stock, Trend, that we identified went from 558 in 2020 to 7,000 in roughly 5 years. And the multi-commodity exchange went from 1160 to 6500 in the same period. So over a 5-year period, these stocks have exhibited returns which are um, exponential. In the case of Trent, it's about 12x. In the case of MCX, it's about more than 5x. These are stocks in long-term momentum and exhibit the power law characteristics. In common parlance, these are known as multi-baggers. But all of this is history. The important thing is to identify the rising stars, the stars that are going to come. The question is, how do we do it?